Energy crisis.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. You think I'd lay down and die? I'll survive. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive.
City boy trying to get to his paradise, says California is where he should be. Get to the ocean, breathe in the clear fresh air, make a lot of money and set himself free. written and played on the radio. He's a star of the show. Oh, take a look, here he comes. He's your man, see him in action. He's a survivor, oh yeah. He's a survivor, never go down. He's a survivor, oh yeah. He's a survivor, never go down. Telephone numbers, Hollywood parties, exchanging star signs, posing in cars, seen in the right places, with the right woman, wheeling and dealing, dining with the stars. While others are sinking, he's in there thinking, one step ahead. His head above water, in for the slaughter. It's easy said, it's as good as read. Oh, take a look, here he comes. He's your man, see him in action. He's a survivor, oh yeah. He's a survivor, never go down. He's a survivor. He's a survivor, never go down. He's a survivor. He's a survivor. He's a survivor. He's a survivor. Yeah, yeah. He's a survivor. Oh well. He's a survivor. Never go down. He's a survivor. Oh well. He's a survivor. Never go down. He's a survivor.
Okay, so the satellite time's good.
If they do win some of the hardware,
What can you say? Colorado sunshine, great snow.
This morning at Beaver Creek. And then Brian coming back to throw it back to the station.
Let's go live to Vail, where Brian Boots is standing by.
Important message for seafood lovers. Don't stop at Red Lobster.
Don't stop.
Announcing the all-you-can-eat special. For a limited time, there's no limit on oceans and clam strips, fried or broiled fish, and everybody's favorite popcorn shrimp, served with all the trimmings. All you can eat at Red Lobster, only $6.95. Once it starts, you won't stop.
I'll say.
All you can eat, $6.95, every Sunday through Wednesday.
Red Lobster for the seafood lover in you.
Want to light a little fire under your fried chicken? Introducing improved Crisco oil.
You start to fry a little faster.
Improved Crisco oil starts to fry faster than any other leading brand.
Crush a little crisper.
Crust turns into a crispier crunch.
Taste a lot of flavor.
Chicken taste is tastier.
Start to fry a little faster. Crush a little crisper. Taste a lot of flavor. Start to a little faster. A little crisper. A lot of flavor.
improved Crisco oil.
Portions of tonight's show were brought to you by Crisco Oil for fried foods that taste great, not greasy, and for delicious salads with no heavy oily taste. Crisco Oil.
Wednesday, Sarah hangs by a thread.
Come on out.
And the sky's the limit when she climbs New York's highest skyscrapers.
I love it.
Real people. Thursday, Dynasty's Joan Collins gets hot.
Oh, what a lady.
When entertainment's finest burned Hollywood's sexiest sizzler.
The lust is back in my heart.
Steve Martin's Celebrity Rose.
Imagine, emerging nations can now call other nations via satellite.
Gee.
No, GTE.
Pizza.
Come on.
Pizza.
Come on. We've got to get the story out by 2. We don't have time. We just don't have time to get pizza.
For lunch.
Personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut.
Fresh baked and ready in 5 minutes, or your next one's free. Guaranteed.
No, that's impossible. No way have I got time to get pizza.
For lunch? Pizza Hut personal pan pizza. Just for one, just for lunch. 5 minutes.
Guaranteed.
6 per liter. Better gains all the way to market. You'll get a faster start.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. Most feed companies are full of empty promises. But not Purina. They've got proof on high-octane brand breeding and starting rations. When my dealer first asked me to try high-octane, I was skeptical. But not anymore. With high-octane starting rations, I get 8% better gains on 11% less feed. And that's all the proof I need.
For a simply sensational forecast, tune the Nightcast.
This is the NBC Television Network.
You can NBC that, be there.
Laser XE, Chrysler's new turbo sports car, challenges Porsche 944. In high-speed cornering and acceleration, Porsche leads. Front-wheel drive Laser beats Porsche in the slalom, matches it in braking. And while its price is thousands less, Laser has a 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. Porsche doesn't. Chrysler Laser XE, because we knew the competition was good. Chrysler, the best built, best backed American cars.
Fresh and clean as a whistle. That's Irish Spring. Fresh and clean as a whistle.
Irish Spring's green and white stripes have 2 truly effective deodorants. 2 deodorants.
And a fine, fresh scent. So you're fresh and
clean as a whistle.
That's Irish Spring deodorant soap. Gets you fresh and clean as a whistle.
Mommy, do blankets have feet?
What?
Mine's wearing socks.
Static cling again?
Get the only lemon freshen detergent for a clean that breaks the static barrier. Fab with full-strength fabric softener.
Full-strength fabric softener plus full-strength detergent and Fab? Fabulous. No more static cling. And look how clean.
Blankets soft.
And lemony fresh.
Get a clean that breaks the static barrier.
Oh, Fab, we're glad there's full-strength fabric softener in you.
Soup is a harvest of memories.
Oh, Joe, you don't.
Hey, that's great perfume.
That's Campbell's bean with bacon soup, boys. Good. How are you?
I drove 7 states in 2 days. I'm tired and I'm starved.
Oh, come on, sit down. Kitchen still open?
That Campbell's bean with bacon soup has more vitamin A per calorie than whole milk.
Feel better?
A lot better than I did 3 states ago.
Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm going to be able to help you all with any problems you might have by showing you exactly how I go about my daily skincare myself. First, I use my cleansing cream. Before starting anything, one should start out with a clean slate, as it were. I I like my particular brand of cleansing cream because for my temperamental skin, it is neither too oily or too dry. And above all, it doesn't grow fuzz. Miss Bennett, it's 7:35, you know. Your bath is ready. Thank you, Mary. I'm coming. Now I apply my stimulant cream. Just for a few minutes because it only starts stimulation. Remember I said stimulation is the basis of my skin treatment? Just like brushing your teeth is stimulation for your gums, makes your gums healthy, and brushing your hair is stimulation for your scalp and makes your hair strong and healthy, and I could go on for hours. There. Now I'm almost ready for my mask. Just take it off a little bit and then I apply my complexion mask. Just a thin, thin layer is necessary, but it really starts deep circulation. All ready, Miss Bennett? All right, Mary, I'll be with you in just a minute. Though it's only necessary for you to leave your mask on for as long as it takes to take a bath, some girls wait until evening to take a bath. So, those girls can leave their masks on while they're preparing breakfast, or even while they're drinking their morning coffee. Just between us, I've done that very thing when I've tried to steal a few more minutes of sleep in the morning.
But, Miss Bennett, it's 7:45.
Oh, all right. She's like an alarm clock, isn't she? Now, I'd be lost without my glow base, because without clogging my pores, it allows my skin to breathe just as though it weren't there, and keeps my makeup intact for hours. This is very important to all of us women, because the only time that we're not on parade is the time we spend in front of our dressing tables, and sometimes not even then. Now my cream rouge. Lots of women think that cream rouge is very difficult to use, but maybe they're just lazy. Because once you use your glow base, you'll find that cream rouge is the only kind to use. It blends easily and stays on. And now for my powder. I only put a little all over my face because I like a sheen. And sometimes, on informal occasions, I don't use any powder at all, just my glow base. Gives my face a nice, lustrous glow. And now my lipstick. I'd like to say this about lipstick. For years, I bought every one I've ever heard about. But I either ate them all off with my food or left them on the cheeks of my son when I kissed him good night or good morning. Never did any part stay on me. Most discouraging. This one at least stays on, and I think perfection than any that exists. And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman.
Come on, Mommy, I'm waiting to have breakfast with you.
My Lord and Master's voice, I must go. So now, goodbye, and I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.
There's more for your life at Sears.
If you think you know Sears catalog, wait till you see this. Sears new spring catalog is hot and cool. Not at all the catalog your mother knew. See what I mean? It's smart, daring, sassy. Yes, it's Sears catalog. Let the colors splash. We're afraid of nothing, just like you. It's amazing what a touch here and there can do, and Sears catalog does it. Come on, confess. These are looks you can't resist. And why should you?
Sears new spring catalog is yours for only $4. Get your copy at your Sears store or call our toll-free number.
Sears catalog is so easy to use, you probably will, again and again.
Can it be Sears catalog? Can it be?
Believe it.
There's more for your life at Sears. It's so full of simmering flavor.
delicately seasoned sauce is simmered inside. So in only 10 minutes, the fresh-made rice is firm, fluffy, full of delicious flavor. Mmm, good.
Lipton rice and sauce tastes so good, 'cause it's so full of simmered in flavor.
Those terrific tummies. They have no idea what some tummies are put through. From bending and binding, shaking and shifting, just to make them flat. Introducing the new Belly Burner. It can flatten your stomach. Although it looks easy, it isn't. But it works, and can work for everybody. No matter what shape you're in right now, the Belly Burner can help you lose inches and develop abdominal muscles properly. Besides the height, the stomach muscles are some of the most important in your body. The Belly Burner method safely develops the stomach muscles and strengthens your lower back. With just a 15-minute workout once a day, you'll see the results in a short period of time. There are many advantages to this proven method over other exercises. It's a program you can easily stay with, and you'll notice results quickly. It develops the right muscles the right way. It helps control your diet, helps strengthen vital organs, prolongs stomach muscle endurance, and contributes to your overall body physiology. Order your Belly Burner today, and we'll include Jim Everroad's bestseller, How to Flatten Your Stomach.
I'm convinced this system is the best and quickest way to flatten your stomach. Now, if you don't agree, return it, and I'll return your money.
The Belly Burner, only $19.95 during this limited TV offer. Excellent for those who want to lose weight and inches, and perfect for those who want to stay fit. And look, the apparatus is so compact, you can take it anywhere. Great for the home, the office, or on the road. The Belly Burner. It's patented, proven, and it works beautifully.
To order from anywhere in the U.S., including Alaska and Hawaii, phone toll-free 1-800-257-1234. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $3 for shipping and handling to Belly Burner. P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30357. That's Belly Burner, Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia.
Imagine the world's sharpest knives working at rotary speeds. Direct from France comes the amazing Mouli, the rotary blade kitchen tool used by millions in Europe. Never before have you been able to process so many foods so quickly and for so little money. Here's how Mouli works. Insert one of 5 different blades, load the hopper, turn the handle, and look. Have you ever made home fries this easily? The same blade makes cucumber slices perfect every time. Slice carrots and celery for soups and stews. Slice radishes a whole bag at a time. How long would it take you to do what the Mouli did? Change to the julienne blade and make mounds of coleslaw. Make fresh julienne French fries. Change blades again and make hash browns. Enjoy delicious potatoes any way you like them. Watch this amazing test. Shred 3 whole onions in the Mouli. Shred 3 in this expensive food processor. Mouli gets the job done quicker and without messy cleanup. The secret is Mouli's large hopper. It holds all the ingredients for an entire health salad. As the safety handle presses the food against the rotary blades, out pours delicious salad. Forget this old knucklebuster. Mouli grates coconut, chocolate, cheese. Look at this mozzarella. Use the finer grating blade to grate nuts, hard cheeses, make breadcrumbs. Grate a stack of graham crackers for a pie crust you'll never forget. Mouli is strong. It even shaves ice for tempting cool drinks. Best of all, Mouli rinses clean and stores quickly in any drawer. You get the Mouli, all 5 blades, and our money-back guarantee. Order now, and we include this amazing knife with a famous blade design like those you've seen on TV. Yours to keep just for trying the French Mouli. Here's how to order.
COD and credit card customers call toll-free 1-800-257-1234. Or save COD and handling by sending $14.95 to Mouli, Box 7500, Atlanta 30357. That's Mouli, Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia 30357. The knife is yours to keep just for trying the amazing Mouli. Call 1-800-257-1234.
Hey, Rosie.
Hi, Swingers. How was the big dance?
Oh, it's not me. Want to dance, Rosie?
Oh, good, a new step. Get something quick. I've got something quicker. Bounty. It gets spills before they get away. That was fast. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. Shuffle over here. See how much faster Bounty soaks up liquid? The other towel pushes it along and lets it get away.
Bounty's quicker, all right.
And tough. Watch this. Now, even with cleanser, you can scrub with Bounty.
Look at that. Bounty is tough.
And fast. Always a quick step ahead. Bounty's the quicker picker-upper. get spills before they get away.
I did it! Just like you taught me.
Congratulations. Of course, my game was a little off today.
Oh, come on. I won fair and square.
And be a good winner.
I guess you never taught me that, Can I have my secret?
Hey, you played hard. Use my spray.
Secret solid keeps me drier, and it's for women.
We all perspire the same.
No, a woman's perspiration is different from a man's.
More delicate?
A woman's perspiration pH can be several times higher than a man's, as seen by this special pH paper. And pH Balance Secret actually accommodates a woman's chemistry to help keep her dry.
Pretty impressive.
Sam, I told you, secret's for women.
But if it's strong...
You lose. Again.
pH Balance Secret. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
When the bell rings, school breaks.
When the bell rings, the fever breaks.
The fever breaks?
The fever for the flavor of a Pringles!
There's a golden rule when you break out of school. With a can of Pringles, you're a fan of Pringles.
It's a deep fried taste. It's a crispy crunch.
Now, I get the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Love the deep fried taste, love the crispy crunch. So break now for Pringles, you'll love the bunch. You'll get the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Wait till you taste Pringles now.
Do I exist? We'll find out. Of course, there's always around a 20 to 30 second lag here. I'm just trying to see if this actually turns up on my screen. Okay, right out of the gate. Thank you. $20 super chat from Zane Cooljet. Apologies if I get it wrong. So anyway, yes, 50,000 subscribers. It took me 12 and a half years, a little more than that, to get this far. So yeah, I think I'm the walking, talking definition of a slow burn. I'm halfway to being recognized by YouTube at this point, I think. So that would put me at 25 years when I hit 100,000, and assuming they're still doing the little placards by then, which, I don't know, I'd probably deface in some way just to be a smartass. But anyway, yeah, this is, I wanted to do something a little more ornate for this live stream, but it didn't quite happen. So if you follow me on social media, you know that I've had to kind of put off this live stream, and I've had to put off the next regular archive episode, the first one of this year, in fact. And it's because I've just been sick a lot, for one. And of course, if you know the soap opera that is my life these days, I've been caring for my father with dementia for a long time now, and it's been just the bad days are getting more and more and more frequent and ever longer, and I'm not really getting even weekends anymore at this point, so everything archive related is kind of just done in stolen moments. So anyway, this will eventually become an Ask the Archive thing, but the only activity that I could come up with quickly enough, I guess you could say, is a bit of research on my part for a potential video, just a casual video sometime in the next few weeks, so as opposed to a Ben's junk. And yeah, I'm trying to come up with a few of those, so it's not so many of the Ben's junk videos. But anyway, I found recently a Betamax tape, which, if the label on it is correct, is kind of a white whale of mine, and it will make for quite a discussion at some point. But to just put it briefly, you might know a certain produce smashing comedian from back in the 80s and 90s. I think I stole one of his hats, in fact. And there is one particular special of his that's never been on home video, and it kind of, in a way, shaped my my understanding of comedy. And I recorded a very heavily edited version of it on Comedy Central back in '96 or so, and then I managed to accidentally record over the end of that. But if it's the special that I hope it is, then this is going to be a bit of a white whale of mine. Now, I've not screened this tape at all, so we're going to play a bit of Betamax roulette here. I'm just praying that there's nothing dirty on this. So anyway, it's labeled as having 4 comedy specials on it. Bobcat Goldthwait, the one that I'm after, Louis Anderson, and one from Don Rickles. So yeah, we'll play a bit of roulette, as it were, a kind of a weird twisted version, AV version of Russian roulette here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to black, I'll turn my mic back on, and we'll try and scan through this tape, and we'll see. Of course, I'll have to, kind of fast forward through a lot of it. But yeah, that will be our activity, and then we'll do an Ask the Archive sort of thing. So just give me a moment here. And my mic should be hot again. I'm going to put on my headphones so I can actually hear what's going on here. And I do not have the audio on at the moment. We'll see what happens. What have I got here? Okay, Bobcat Goldthwait. That is, that's one that's accurate. So I don't think YouTube will mind too much if I'm just fast forwarding through this. Presumably an hour. Now what I'm hoping for is not only the special that I'm after, but also that it's an original Showtime showing, and hopefully with bumpers and stuff. So I'm holding down the fast forward button on the remote for my Betamax deck here. Some of them you can double tap the fast forward button and it actually will continue fast forwarding for you, but not this one. So I'm having to hold down the button this entire time. And oh, the thing's trying to tell me that I'm overloading OBS, the streaming software I'm using. Hopefully it's okay. It probably doesn't like the extra data from fast forwarding. Now I do have kind of a soft spot for Bobcat, especially in more recent years. If you've heard his more recent stuff, he's really toned down that persona. Although I admit I have a soft spot for the 2 or 3 Police Academy movies he was in. So I do have a place in my blackened heart for Bobcat. But yeah, he's truly an acquired taste, isn't he? So let's see. I have no idea where I'm at on this. 24 minutes. So we're not even halfway there. So I get to sit here and just attempt to fill time as I search for the next special. I have no idea how this was put together. It looks like, well, if this is 4 hour-long specials, this is going to be an X3 mode beta tape. And once again, OBS is yelling at me, so there might be some dropped frames or something going on here. And 32 minutes. Wonderful. Now, I can't say I've ever seen this special. This doesn't look familiar to me. He had an album out, or probably around the time that this came out, I'd imagine. Boy, it's a little thing called Meat Bob, M-E-A-T, and it's Bobcat and kind of looking like a package of ground beef. I see a thing in the comments. Can I stop and fast forward? Yeah, I could, but I'm hoping to actually come in at where I want to be, because I don't know exactly how long this is. So yeah, I could, but where's the fun in that? So let's see, we are at 44 minutes. So assuming this is an hour-long thing, we're 3/4 of the way there, we'll say. Real exciting stuff. Now, I'm not sure I could sit through an hour of this version of Bobcat. Another weird kind of thought I had here, there's a video of him that he did for MTV before he got famous, or right around the time he got famous, where he's lip-syncing a Madonna song. I think it's True Blue. And it's as weird as you'd expect. It's just him lip-syncing to the camera. Okay, we got glitchy stuff. Okay, what's going on here? It is just in play mode right now, so we'll see. The counter is, oh yeah, but it's missing the intro. Crap. Well, it's what I was after. But yes, that's the segment that the Cycloctopus. That's what I was looking for. Oh yes, Elvira. It wouldn't be Oddity Archive without Elvira, would it? Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to stop and fast forward. We'll see if this is complete or not. It should be right about 1 hour on the button. But the end of this one, if you've ever seen this special, it's a very, very surreal ending, and some would argue a very wasteful one. But yeah, this has been a bit of a white whale of mine, so we'll see how complete it is. And I'll come back and do a proper video on it at some point, and I'll kind of discuss where it sits in my world. So let's see here. I am at 22 minutes into this one. And I see a comment, the True Blue thing, back to Bobcat Goldthwait, was part of an MTV video music video contest. That would sound about right. That would be about right. Old radio's mad as hell. Gallagher's mad as hell. I do have that one on Laserdisc, of all things. I think it's so weird. For the crap reputation that Gallagher has, I've just kind of accrued, I think, just about everything of his that ever got legally released. Just like from thrift stores and stuff over the years. Okay, now I'm definitely going to have to keep the audio off for the ending here. And I think the reason this has never been on home video is because there's some real music to it. You got a Fishbone tune in there, and then over the ending you got a Pat Travers tune. So I'm guessing that's why this one never found its way to home video. So let's see if the ending is intact here. See what happens. The clock is... Oh, we jumped straight to Louis Anderson. That doesn't bode well. I mean, I like Louis Anderson. I do. I was actually supposed to see him once, and of course, he's no longer with us. Gallagher is no longer with us either, for that matter. Yeah, I went to Vegas with my folks when I turned 21, and we were going to see Louis Anderson. Okay, the end is there, and it's intact. He's swimming out. Great. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and rewind this here. It's probably going to give away a bit of the humor, but it's if you've ever seen this, it's a pretty messed up ending, and I kind of consider it in a way kind of the pinnacle of surrealist humor. I'm sure I will get tons of argument on that one, but yeah, it just stuck with me. And when Gallagher passed away, I wrote about this on Facebook and Twitter. There it is. He's got his cycloctopus, never seen again for obvious reason, and now it's raining watermelons. Of course, we know what's really happened. They're just being thrown off a roof there. But, yeah. And, of course, over the course of this, what do you want to call that? That puppet? What do you call something like that? Oh, he got beamed by a melon, too. How appropriate. Payback. I guess that works because he was able to kind of fold that into a spur-of-the-moment thing where he could use the cycloctopus as a shield. But I don't know how much that sucker cost, but it gets just absolutely decimated. And you'll see one hit the eye, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a little while here. And this is obscure enough. I'm just kind of taking it on faith that YouTube won't... Oh, there's the eye shot. Yep. I didn't imagine that at all. Yeah, this is what I managed to record over when I was, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 years old on Comedy Central. Now I'll have to rewind through this and see if it is indeed the complete show. They used to rerun these things on Comedy Central and VH1, and they would be in varying degrees of completeness. So... or sometimes they would take an hour-long special and drag it out to an hour and a half. So, you know, if they were showing an unedited one, there'd be extra commercials, but, you know, it'd be the price you pay for getting the real deal. And this is just all around a very, very surreal special. It's very different from... It is a greatest hits, I should say. And then the ending. Yep, there we are. Yep. Okay, so we'll see if the end indeed survives. I was really hoping for Showtime bumpers and stuff here, but let's just... Yeah, okay, at least that shot didn't get cut off. Yeah, great. Okay, well, no Showtime ephemera. But yes, and I do see the super chat there, Jiggle Jess #1, but thank you. In case I've missed any... super chats as I've been going through this. Oh, very funny. Deselector, is that how he passed? No. I know that's a joke, but yeah, he only went in the last 3 or 4 years. All right. Well, okay, I think we survived that round of Betamax roulette there. So anyway, I'm going to shut off the beta deck here. I'm going to kick back to me. I guess it's appropriate. I kind of wore a hat tonight. And that was totally just serendipity on my part. So anyway, from here on, I guess I need to take these headphones off because I'm gonna drive myself nuts with the echo that I hear of myself. So yeah, unfortunately, I was gonna try and do like maybe a video game thing, try and play something in real time and something vintage, of course. But yeah, it just didn't happen. In fact, I didn't get much of any prep time for this. I only kind of started on this one at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, something like that. So it's been a bit of a mess. How appropriate for me, how on brand is that? So anyway, I am going to turn this into, I guess, an Ask the Archive here. So just start firing away in the comments. Bear in mind there's about a 30-second delay, and I'm sure I'll have to kind of scroll around to catch up. But no super chats are necessary, though they're certainly welcome. And yeah, we'll just chat for a bit here. I make no guarantees that anything I answer is going to be accurate or good or funny or anything, but we'll just kind of see what happens here. Let's see here. I think I'm still ahead of the curve here. I have no idea. Just making sure that the stream is indeed healthy. Or how would that be? I get to 50,000 subscribers and I have nothing to talk about. Speaking of which, while I'm waiting for the chat to catch up here. Oh, I'm starting to see it. Never mind. Let's see here. How was the change from Denver to Sioux Falls? Culture shock. I mean, it's kind of weird because I am truly originally from here. I was raised in Denver, of course, but I visited here a ton of times and I knew the town pretty well already before coming here, but it still didn't quite prepare me just for the cultural differences between Denver and here. I mean, I knew there would be some, but and of course the climate differences. The winters here are just nothing like Colorado here. Let's see here, and it's going to take me a while to catch up here, but that's fine. Let's see here. Can the Flash outrun Superman? I wish I had something funny to say. There's a good joke in there. He could outflash Superman, I suppose, but I am not a superhero person. Okay, Rick K. What's my white whale when it comes to vintage tech? At the moment, it's not a very unrealistic one, but it's probably like a Sony AV8650, so one of the very high-end color EIAJ Type 2 units. I've been trying to get over to a proper EIAJ Type 2 open reel half-inch video machine, and the closest I've gotten, I still need to make a video on it. It's one of those things that it could be years from now. But Sony had a competing format kind of against itself, a sub-format rather. And I have one of those. It's not compatible with anything else. But yeah, probably the 8650 or the Panasonic variant. I guess those are supposed to be pretty good. But I haven't seen any of those anywhere at any price. Otherwise, there's some tech stuff that I would certainly love to have. But where would I put it? You know, I'd love to play around with a 1-inch videotape machine or something just to try it out. So let's see here. So is my Quasar VX machine working good? I haven't used that one since I did the episode. I haven't used my good one. I don't know if I've discussed this or not, but Rick Klein, from also known as Fuzzy Memories, we had worked out a deal before my dad really went into decline that he would send me his VX deck and tapes that he needed transferred for Fuzzy Memories. And of course, that's just completely, truly on the back burner now. And I did a short video on that VX one, come to think of it, the one that Rick sent in, and it does not work properly. And looking closer at it, I know it sounds so stereotypically YouTube tech, but I think some of the Nichicon caps are going on it. Let's see here. Absolute Digital Pictures. In one of your videos about public access TV, I heard you lived in South Dakota. Where in South Dakota did you live? Sioux Falls. Right on kind of the southern edge of it here. Let's see here. Dave Porter, are there any other channels that I would consider for an isms video? So if you follow me on social media, I was working on what was to be Comedy Central isms, getting back to the whole comedy thing. And I found myself kind of more interested in the stuff that led up to Comedy Central. So there was going to be a Comedy Central isms one. I looked into doing TNT network isms, but I just didn't think it was all that interesting the more I dug into it. And some are just so well trodden, I'm very, very reluctant to do it. Like Nickelodeon, I think, is just overdone. Maybe A&E or something. But even then, if memory serves, A&E had very, very little original programming early on. So it'd be me just kind of talking about whatever reruns. And of course, with them, usually imported ones, if memory serves. Old radios. I never understood how to get the knobs off the Quasar VR1000. It took some doing. It always looks easier in the final montage because it's moving so fast. But I had to sit there and really pry at the knobs on that the first time. And the trick is, once you get it off the first time, you know, you don't have to put it back on quite all the way. You can kind of fudge it a little. And although even then you do kind of need to pry at it a little bit. Yeah, it's the first time getting those knobs off on a VX unit that are just miserable. And of course I wasn't going to sit there and include a montage of me just beating my head against the wall trying to do that. Happy Snout Hour. Have I ever considered doing Weather Channel-isms? I'm pretty sure that already exists, doesn't it? I've seen whole fan channels for the Weather Channel. And also, I'm not sure what I would say about it. I mean, I watched enough of it growing up. I certainly remember, like, Weather on the 8s. Sean Sullivan, is there an EAS alert that is my white whale? Well, the one from right here in Sioux Falls, I reconstructed the one from Kelo, Kelo TV from the mid-70s, and it's on Archive Annex. But I'd love to see that one actually in use, not a mock-up or not something that was used in a news segment where they were talking about that system, but actually being used. But I suppose if there's a white whale, it's me digging through, you know, those old half-inch open reel tapes, trying to see if maybe there's some out there from, say, before 1977. I mean, it would be especially cool if there was a CV tape lurking out there. Skip Field open reel half-inch black and white CV tape where maybe you found one from 1967 or something. Yeah, that would kind of be it. I'd say the odds are insanely low of that, but that's kind of what I'd like to see. Or maybe on the audio front, an off-air radio recording of Conelrad getting kind of used. I'm not sure it ever really truly got used in an emergency, but or just whatever equivalent to. Closest I've gotten is the klaxon, homemade klaxon from WCCO in Minneapolis. Let's see. Well, I've already answered the TNT question. More thrifting, eventually. There will be thrifting eventually, but if you know what's going on with me right now, I'm just not going thrifting very much. I've not been to a thrift store at all in 2025 yet. So this might be a year kind of with minimal thrifting or no thrifting. This might be the year where I have to put Archive just kind of outright on hold for a while. I mean, I am kind of beholden, I suppose, to YouTube to put some stuff out. I have to keep my hours above a certain level for their little partner program thingy. Let's see here. Old radios. Any plans for a V-Cord machine if the opportunity comes up? Yeah, if the price is right. Now, bear in mind, any of those old things I get, I would probably wind up sending it off to Obsolete Video, Rick Thomas in Arizona, And he is expensive, but he's the only person I know of that really works on that stuff. You know, he's restored Cartravisions and stuff. So, you know, those are the kind of things that I would love to be able to do myself, but I just don't have the skills. On my someday list is just getting back to soldering. I'm terrible at soldering. Anybody that's seen my videos on it knows that. But it's one of those things I feel like I just need to do and just keep doing and just keep working and just find some sort of happy place. I'm convinced soldering is more of a talent than a skill. What am I working on right now that might be in a future video? Well, you just saw a bit of it with that tape. So that would be something I'd be doing just kind of as an alternative to a Ben's Junk. Let's see here. Paul Nelson, how do I feel about roasts, especially the old school, really nasty Friars Club ones? Are those a potential episode? I haven't really thought about that, but I have no issue with the roasts. They can get as nasty as they want for all I care. I've seen... it's the more recent ones, like the ones from the 2000s, where it seems like they're just trying to get as nasty as they can, and they kind of forget the humor part of it. But yeah, I don't have any real issue in there. And I am seeing some super chats come up here. I will acknowledge them. Thank you as you're sending them in, but I will acknowledge them as I get to them in the list here. Let's see here. Oh, this is the toughest question of them all. Who put the bomb in the bomb? That's beyond my pay grade, man. Let's see here. Another real brutal one. You guys are sending me the tough ones here. Who made the egg salad sandwiches? You know, that's been going on since 1981. Nobody's ever gotten to the bottom of that one. Let's see. Old radios. Have I ever got my CVC 2000 camera working? The Sony thing? I haven't tested it. It's one of those things I just haven't gotten back to. That's been such a huge problem making archive. If you could see around this room, it's just miserable. It's just like this big pile of unfinished projects, stuff that I just need to be able to sit down for days, weeks, you know, however long on end to just work on it. I got another VCR VHS deck behind the camera that is, I've been trying to find a VHS deck with linear stereo, so as opposed to hi-fi. And I haven't opened it yet, but I am very unimpressed with the packaging job on it. I got a JVC one, kind of one of the really sought after ones, the D725 last year, and it arrived just decimated. It's beyond repair. Let's see here. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Well, water or air? Well, it is air. So much for that joke. Yeah. Told you my jokes might not fly tonight. Oh, there's a good one. There's a pun for you. Let's see here. I know it's going to be a bit before we see it, but any ideas floating around for what I may do for episode 300? Depends on what's still going on by that point. As it stands, in a perfect world with current circumstances, I'd like to get an regular episode out once a month, but I'm thinking it's going to be more like every 5 or 6 weeks. And even that is subject to change. Let's see, of my archive thrift videos, what would I consider my greatest find? Well, my greatest finds were never shot in the first place. But offhand, when I found the Nightmare VHS games, that stands out. Atmosphere, if you're over in Europe. If you're up really, really late over in Europe watching this. Let's see, Porkboy23. How do I find places to go thrift shopping? I just check the phone book, check the internet. And we do indeed have a new St. Vincent's around here on the west side of town, and I have not been there yet because it's like, when am I going to do it? Whatever free time I get, I'm doing a live stream. I'm trying to shoot a Ben's Drunk. I'm trying to, just make a new episode. I've been editing this, I'm calling it Prehistoric Comedy Central. That's going to be next week, assuming I get it finished. I've been hacking away at that thing for too long, since the beginning of the year. And I lost my voice completely a couple of weeks ago. But thankfully I was able to get the voiceovers down for that just before my voice completely conked out. And to everyone that's wishing me a happy 50,000, thank you. I really mean that. Let's see here. Old radios again. How about anything 16 millimeter film related? So the one time, well, I found a couple of 16 millimeter projectors on thrifting, haven't I? I haven't bought them because I have a, I know what I want, let's put it that way, and I just don't think I'm ever going to see it. I'd like kind of like a later period Elmo or something like that, or better yet, a telescene, one of the kind of all-in-one things, instead of me trying to point at the wall and try and adjust the camera, instead of that sort of deal. But yeah, those things are kind of pricey, and I just, again, it's one of those projects that, yeah, if I find it at the right price, yeah, I'll get it, but it'll just be one more thing that's in the pile. Would I ever consider doing a video on Hell's Bells 2? I assume you mean that religious documentary, because I did Hell's Bells way back in like season 1, I guess. Probably not. I don't know what I'd say about it. I feel like I've kind of taken that as far as I can. That's after a certain point, it's just kind of picking on people's faith, and that's kind of lame, in my opinion. Jen Gibbons, what is my opinion of the potential of AI to restore old film or music or photos? Also, stay warm. It's like any other tool. You can use it for good, you can use it for evil. And so far I'm seeing AI mostly just get used for stupid. Lord knows YouTube likes to recommend these vintage recordings that are just people, writing fart jokes or whatever. Just let's make something that sounds like it's from the 50s, early 50s, and we'll just make all the words swear words. That's kind of what I'm seeing AI mostly get used for. The closest to a good AI use I can think of in music, just in general, that I can think of offhand is the Randy Travis single from last year or the year before, which is a terrific song as well. It's called Where That Came From. I'm usually not a big country person, but it's a terrific song. And of course, Randy Travis had a stroke. He can't sing anymore. So they got another country singer to come and lay down the vocal, and then they used AI and existing samples of Randy's voice to kind of plop on to the new vocal. So, I mean, it's not the most honest thing in the world, certainly, but I think there are noble uses for it, but at my most cynical, I think AI is kind of just the next generation of press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish, that sort of thing. Press dos for Espanol. I can't speak a word of Spanish, but... Oh, V Westlife is here reminding me that it's actually 50.1K subscribers, 50,100. Well, had I done this last week on time, yeah, it would have been closer to the proper thing. Let's see. Rare Blues Daddy, 78 Daddy. I'm going through dementia with an elderly parent as well. Yeah, it's brutal. And part of me feels like I should make some sort of thing where I just sit and discuss it. But I feel like I need to, one, actually get through the whole thing first to the bitter end. And also, maybe I think I would need a little distance from it. Or do I really want to revisit that? It's one of those things that it's still such a fresh thing, and still, of course, obviously ongoing thing. And if you follow me on social media, you know that at the same time that I lost my voice and I was really getting a bad cold, Dad took a fall overnight when I wasn't there, and I wound up taking him late that morning to the ER because just as the morning progressed, he just wasn't moving. Everything was just making him yowl. So that was a fun day. Let's see. Super Orange Cat. Was I a fan of American Gladiators? I remember it. I don't have any great feelings one way or another about it. I do remember it. I certainly remember it. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm still slightly getting over it, so we'll get disgusting here for a moment. At least I can kind of hide behind the box and do that. Is the channel at least self-supporting financially? Yeah. I don't lose money on archive. It's been sustainable in that sense. I mean, I don't make a whole lot. I kind of pump everything back into it, but yeah, it's solvent. It's nothing that necessarily keeps the lights on or anything. But yeah, I don't lose money making archive. Let's see here. Let's see. If I did WGN-isms, it would just boil down to Bozo the Clown, Harry Carey, and Tom Skilling. Yeah, that would be kind of the thing, wouldn't it? Another one from Old Radios. I ask this every time. Any opportunity getting a wind-up phonograph soon? I think I've only ever seen one in the wild, and I'm sure it was some outrageous price. Yeah, I'd love to... Actually, I'd really like a wax cylinder machine just to try it. And I know there's kind of homemade ways of getting a direct feed of it. That would kind of have to fall into it. Again, there's so many things I'd like to do that I could keep archive running for another decade, just from kind of, in some ways, just what I've gotten, what I'd like to do, but it's just doing it. So unfortunately, yeah, we're still kind of just stuck with the Ben's junk thing. Let's see, Charles Knox, the history of AMC might have potential. Yeah, I have kind of kicked around the idea of that one. Unrelated, V Westlife. I have an audio recording of an EAS alert interrupting Harold Camping's end of world prediction. There's a good time for that. Let's see here. JMine13074. Any luck finding any footage of Uncle G, or whatever that public access host in Aurora was? Uncle G was on the Fox station in Denver, and he was also, I met him as Uncle G when I was a kid. And then I met him a few times years later because he was also a disc jockey. I mean, there used to be this independent station in Denver. I forget the call letters, but it was 102.3. And he was the program director of that station. But I have never found any Uncle G footage to answer your question. But yeah, when you say that to me, I start thinking of the guy that I knew a little more as a program director for a radio station. Let's see, I'd watch some Fleabay thrifting, and it would just be having the time to do it. Yeah. Okay, got a $15 super chat here. I'm gonna give that a little belated like here. Merito, $15. Coming in totally blind, but thanks, but congrats on the milestone, Ben. And I'm very glad you've yet to give up archive through everything. Been watching since 2017, and hopefully we'll see 2027 around here. Yeah, I'd say the odds are fairly good of that. But yeah, Merito did if I remember, I sent him the multi-tracks for one of my old songs once, and he made a Guitar Hero thing of it. It was on YouTube. I assume it still is, but yeah, he managed to pull apart one of my old songs from my Minot album from back in 2010 and make a Guitar Hero thing out of it, and it was surprisingly successful. I mean, how well it was done. I think I doubt it's had many views, but Mike Scully, any record ripoffs on the table? Boy, I'm doing great. Well, yeah. I still hope to do a record ripoffs episode this year, like I do every year. The one that I'm kind of kicking around is I've got a bunch of European ones kicking around. So I'm thinking like if I can find enough of that particular pile, kind of like stuff that was popular over in Europe, didn't do so well here in the States, but change it up, kind of an international edition of record ripoffs. Let's see, do a horror host mega special, please. I think there are already whole channels that that have done that sort of thing. Let's see here. I'm not sure if that's addressed to me, so I'll skip over that. Let's see, Dan Mount. Would I do an episode on other radio stations doing their own takes on War of the Worlds? Probably not. And Lord knows I've been linked enough of those things, but I've never heard one that I liked, to be honest. And part of me would kind of like to hear somebody just kind of satirize it, but I don't think anybody's done it. But yeah, there's all these kind of homebrew versions of the War of the Worlds broadcast, but none of them even begin to live up to Orson Welles, which is a tradition of mine, by the way. It aired on October 30th, 1938, and every year on October 30th, I spin War of the Worlds sometime during the evening. Even now, even as of 2024, on the turning away, somebody's a Floydian. Ben, what's the last clip shown in your intro theme, The Man and the Woman Outside the Castle? That is from the Industrial Musicals episode. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think it was from General Electric. But yeah, refer back to Industrial Musicals if you're looking for that one. Let's see, Victor Cowo. Have I ever thought to do a collab video with someone as a means to kind of take off some weight from you? Well, as I've learned over the years that crossovers take actually more work than a normal video. So you wouldn't think it. It would seem like I could kind of hand it off, but that's not how that works. The closest I've done would be episode 200, and that took forever to put together. That was way harder than making a regular episode. I think and I knew it was going to be a long one, but I think I spent 3 months on that one. But yeah, crossover is just, yeah, they're a lot of work. Now, having said that, next time I do the public domain live stream thing at the end of the month is my projected one, whatever the last Friday of the month is. I should have a guest host with me to do this one, because the next one is going to be a Western, and I am not a Western expert. I've seen enough of them, but it's just never been a strength of mine. So yeah, I got an expert that you might know, and I don't know if he's in the comments tonight, but yeah, that's something that's been in the pipeline since December. Let's see here. Johnny LaRue made the egg salad sandwiches. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Well, you know this is a while ago if it's still about the egg salad sandwich thing. Let's see, I've already answered the War of the Worlds thing. Okay, here's just, this is more of a general comment, but it's something that I kind of ran headfirst into again when I have been working on this Prehistoric Comedy Central project. But anyway, the comment is, when I was a kid living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, early 90s, I watched Nickelodeon and wanted to watch Nick at Night. Problem was that when Nick at Night was supposed to come on, it would switch to A&E programming. And I think that was fairly common at the time. I've heard of that happening quite a bit. But it reminded me of growing up and getting cable TV and only having certain channels for like half the day. And I actually have an example kicking around on a VHS tape. I don't remember if I've ever excerpted it on archive. I'd have to keep it very brief, but the one that always stands out to me is we had VH1 until from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. And at 4 p.m. it would kick over to the Spice Channel, scrambled. And it's just, this is not one of my jokes. I promise this footage really exists. But I was recording pop-up video one day, if you remember that show, back in the late 90s. And it was just pure serendipity. The video was Shock the Monkey by Peter Gabriel, and then it kicked into the Spice Channel. But with regards to the project I've been working on, part of why I've been having trouble finding footage of Comedy Central before Comedy Central is a lot of it was, the cable companies that were carrying it, a lot of them were only doing that stuff half the day, or HA. Comedy Central and HA, and then they merged to become Comedy Central ultimately, with a little detour first. Let's see here. Got another super chat here from Alexander Filarski, an old Facebook friend. Have I ever heard of a YouTube channel called Blake Naftel? He has several old TV-isms from when he worked in West Michigan and is also a storm chaser. Nope, never heard of it. But I have now, I guess. Okay. Jess Hernandez, I need to do more Ben's Junk videos of my music collections. Record, tape, CDs. Those are extremely enjoyable. And yeah, the thing is, when I do those ones, I try and do it as a fail-safe. So like if I don't have anything else, an actual item to discuss, then I lean a little more on my old collections. But, you know, that's finite. It's a limited resource. Why do I keep hearing scratching noises? I don't know, maybe because I keep scratching my head or moving the microphone around. I'm sure my lav is making all sorts of noise. I found that a lav is better when I'm doing live streams, though, because if I have my usual Rode NT1 here, every time I turn my head, you know, it's like I'm going to fade away completely. Show my face, damn it. I'm pretty sure it's happened. Not always intentionally, but it has. Let's see here. Psycho Space Cadet, do I have anything from Ha, the one that merged to become Comedy Central? I've found a little footage on YouTube, but none of my own. I don't have any of that footage of my own, unfortunately. I do have some early Comedy Central, but it needs... I've tried baking the tape, and it still doesn't play right, so that tells me it's a lube issue. So at some point, again, in my endless to-do list, that needs to be re-lubed and probably rebaked anyway, and see if it finally plays properly. But it's still a gummy, squeaky mess when I try and do anything with it. Victor Cowo, everything to do an MST3K type video with a couple of friends with different public domain videos. It was talked about early on, and again, it's one of those things that it's all sorts of coordination and trying to make it work, and especially if you're all in different places and you're trying to write jokes for something, and then you have to sort out, okay, what's the best joke, what's going to go here, what's going to go there. Everybody's going to have to record their bits separately, and yeah, I mean, it's a great idea, but it's just not that practical. Let's see here. Frank V, awesome concept. Go back and review old 80s cable network shows, which I've kind of done. I mean, it's still kind of an ongoing thing. And then the bad fill-in-the-blank sitcoms episodes. And I think I might do one of those fairly soon, if only because I don't have to like try and work on an actual item or anything. But yeah, I have a kind of a backlog of short-lived sitcoms, syndicated sitcoms and stuff that I need to revisit and try and find some episodes of and watch, and Monday morning quarterback my way through it. Okay, we got a couple of super chats here. So EC, $20. Thank you. Very, very generous there. I've been watching your videos for 10 years. I'm so glad you continued, as it feels like one of the only things that hasn't changed in a crazy world. Thank you for staying strong with the videos. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, that is kind of partially by design. You know, this is old school YouTube, the part that just won't die, you know? Let's see here. Fox and Pox, that's a $10. Whoa. YouTube doesn't like me trying to read these. Let's see. Congratulations on the 50K. Thank you. I discovered your show back in 2016 during high school. You and your trips through the quirks of yore have helped me through thick and thin. Cheers, and here's to a bright future. Thank you. And yeah, that's been something in the last couple of years now. I've been hearing from people like, I used to watch Archive in 2013 when I was in middle school, and now I have kids. You know, that sort of thing. It's just like, okay. Thanks for making me feel old. Sean Tewis, please forgive me if I botch any names here. Any plans to cover international broadcast rip-off oddities? Mexico is rife with bad covers of American and Euro music. Well, YouTube has a way of kind of cracking down on even the knockoff stuff, so it's always kind of me having to dance around what I can get away with. I was going to do an episode on Mexican-American TV, I guess you could say, Telemundo, that sort of thing. Because I do have some footage, but it would help if I spoke Spanish, for one. And I've thought of, maybe kind of intentionally running into a language and cultural wall with things. I've thought about that for like when I'm riffing commercials and stuff. But it just hasn't come to fruition yet. Let's see here. How old is the box? MV. This is original. This is the one I've been using since 2012. And I don't know if I've ever told this story, but years ago when I was still trying to be a musician, I only owned a snare drum for a drum kit and a kick pedal, not even a kick drum. But this was my kick for a while. I used to stick one of the mechanical kick pedals in here and use that. So this thing has just been abused. It's a miracle that this thing has held up for all these years. And this box, I'm sure, was a few years old already. But yeah, it's kind of become kind of a warped game of mine to see just how long I can keep this box going. Maybe that'll be the day I retire. The day that the box completely falls apart is the day I retire. It's not how old the box, it's how covered the face. Yeah, true. I guess it keeps me from aging to some degree, although I think the temples are graying at this point. Ben's a rock star now that he's at 50K. Yeah, it'd be nice if my views were that high. I'd have to remake Max Headroom incident over and over and over again, wouldn't I? Let's see here. Am I a fan of pics and portraits, aka sleepcore? He's shown videos of odd tech. I've never heard of it. That's a new one on me. Thoughts on Hozier? Hozier, if I've listened to his music. That's the first I've heard that name. Matthew Lawrenson, this is just a general comment. Not to get too grim here, but I'm in my late 40s now and feel the culture of my past slowly drifting away. What's it like in your late 30s when, let's be frank, the world moves faster now? For me, things like, it feels like it's been on the decline for about a decade now, maybe a bit longer than that. But my thing is, the new stuff, I know I'm painting in very broad strokes here, but I feel like things have gotten just ever more dystopian. Like when I turn on the TV now, everything's this, not just a pharmaceutical commercial, but it's completely disjointed. Like I saw one that was some random anime, and then the words, the text of the narration, the voiceover was on screen scrolling by. And it was so weird and disjointed. And it just feels like we're just kind of falling into what the sci-fi authors used to warn of. For all the good things, that you can do with technology. And that's, I know I have kind of a reputation as a Luddite in a way, but I do have that part of me that's like, anything that anybody dreams up, as I have said before, is a tool. You can use that hammer to build something, or you can use it to bash someone's skull in. That's where humanity comes in. Mighty Film. You lose your sense of humor at those "I've fallen and I can't get up" commercials when an elderly relative shatters their hip. I could see that. And indeed, getting back to taking Dad to the ER, I was worried that he had fractured his hip because his lateral movements were so bad. I mean, one thing in the whole caregiving thing, the whole dementia thing, is that you do have to keep a sense of humor. Granted, you kind of have to keep it internal, but and I found that there's a lot of gallows humor with it, and it's one of those things, I guess you just kind of have to go through it. I know that there's some that would go, that just sounds horrible, that sounds cruel, but you know, when life kind of throws you into kind of a dark situation, the only way to fight it and cope with it is with, I guess, suppose, dark humor. It's a very strange place, and that's part of why I don't know, maybe someday I'll try and write something about it. It would be a bit off-brand for me, but yeah. Let's see here. Turner colonization, I think that's supposed to be colorization. AMC and TCM is an interesting story on the whole, as it's all related directly. Yeah, Ted Turner's had his fingers in a whole lot of pies, hasn't he? And I have kicked around the idea of discussing the colorization trend from back in the 80s. Let's see here. If you think you want to do another EAS video, I have a couple of videos I captured from my phone. I live in Belize, but we get American TV and from other countries in recent years. Yeah, it's always on the table. And I do have a small stash of candidates for an eventual another one, but again, that's one of those things that, you know, the inevitable would probably have to happen first. I would need to be able to just really work on it for a long time. And now, I mean, I could just kind of shut Archive down and work on, just put out that one video every couple of months, but it's not like a Gaming Historian or one of those guys where each video does so well it can sustain them for months on end. I've just never been able to get to that level. When Ben removes the box, it will have the same imprint like that Twilight Zone episode. One joke I had kicked around at some point was to do a little green screen behind the box. So I'd pull the box away and it'd be like I'm missing or something, and I would only exist, you know, at the eyes. Oh boy, that's a huge super chat. None of your biz, $50. I'm a big fan. We love your videos in New Mexico. Thank you. Yeah, I can't say I've ever heard New Mexico among that. That's definitely not one of my regulars. Let's see here. On the turning away, are there any present-day music artists I like, if any? I can't really think of any. I know that sounds really terrible of me. But not that I can think of offhand. If I listen to new stuff, it's usually new stuff from older artists. Of course, I'm just not listening to much new or even new to me stuff right now. I'm still buying the odd, you know, CD and stuff here and there, but what I have been buying lately, if you follow me on Facebook, I've had this weird mini trend of buying so-called bad albums. But, you know, I bought Edgar Winter's Mission Earth and the Monkees' Pool It. But yeah, it's more been me kind of trying to replace old LPs and cassettes of things lately. Let's see here. And true to form, YouTube is freezing on me. Why am I not surprised by this? Let's see here. Would I ever consider making an episode on North Korean television and radio? How much footage is there? That's always kind of a weird thing. Like when I tried to include Soviet TV on the last Sign-Offs Volume 2 or 3. No, it had to have been Volume 2. There was some sort of mini thing at some point. But yeah, it's like how do you know it's legit and all? But yeah, it would take some research. But yeah, let's see. Jen Gibbons, am I familiar with an album band called Hindu Love Gods? Yeah, I've got their one and only album. Yeah, it's Warren Zevon and 3/4 of REM. Let's see here. Let's see. I think we've got some people who figured out who the guest host is going to be for the public domain live stream here. But I guess he's not in the chat tonight. He must be busy tonight. Let's see here. Mighty Film. I remember when I was little, my grandmother had cable. I have no idea what channel it was, but it was scrambled and let out a weird throbbing alarm sound, which might have been just scrambled cable. Either that or you got some sort of local access alert happening there. Bass Horseman 99, $10 super chat. Thank you. I'm really kind of shocked at all the super chats tonight. I didn't think that was going to be a thing. There it goes. There's a horrible lag on my end right now. Let's see here. James Farley. Hey, Ben, have you ever been recognized in public? Once. Yes, I've one whole time. That was when I was in Minnesota, when I was working on the AM stereo thing. Let's see here. Erica Riley. Do I show my face in public, or if not, how do I cover my... Well, I don't really have a choice, do I? It's more a thing like just having a certain confidence that I'm probably not going to get recognized. I mean, I still have a very small viewer base when it comes right down to it. You know, there's YouTubers that could fart and get 1 million hits. I'm certainly not part of that elite group, which is probably for the best anyway. But yeah, the one and only truly live in-person thing I've ever done with Archive, I opened for the Found Footage Fest years ago one time, and I just simply asked the guy that was working the show if he would just turn the house lights off and the stage lights off while I introduced my bit and just did my little chat there. So yeah, that was how I dealt with it the one time. But the funny thing was, nobody knew who I was, so nobody cared. And I was able to just hang out in the lobby and have a drink afterwards. And I think one person said, that was pretty funny. And otherwise it was just like, whatever. Nobody cared. Let's see here. Oh, this damn thing is... Every time I do an Ask the Archive, it's always such a total train wreck at times. And I always lose momentum when I'm trying to find my way back through. I guess I'm just going to have to let it catch up. It looks like things have kind of frozen somewhere. Am I even on? Okay, it looks like it locked up on me for about 25 seconds. Hopefully nothing was lost. I'm sure I'll catch up eventually. If I missed a question or something, just we'll get back to it. Let's see here. I was starting to look at this one. Richard the Fox. Would I ever do a part 2 of overplayed commercials, famous commercials? Perhaps the time period could be expanded and could include internet infamous ads. Yeah, I've thought about doing a part 2 of it. Not sure when, but yeah. Mike C, a little super chat there for $1.99. Will I mention MST3K for Comedy Central? Yeah, I gave it admittedly a very brief little segment, but it's one of those things that if you just look on YouTube, there are so many just fan discussions of MST3K, and there's been, you know, real proper documentaries and stuff from Best Brains and stuff. And it's like the best I could do is kind of acknowledge it and go, yeah, Oddity Archive probably wouldn't exist, certainly as we know it, if it weren't for MST3K. Let's see here. Let's see here. Wes Smith. Also, if you can you explain what you did, what you think that was? Like, was Tom a professional singer? I've always wondered. The Tom tapes, the open reel tapes that I found, I never even found his last name. I don't even know Tom's full name, so I've never been able to really look into it. And once again, YouTube is spazzing on me. As always. Let's see here. Let's see. Would another technical difficulties episode be possible? You know, I haven't... Oh, don't tell me this damn thing is jammed up again. I'm hoping nothing's getting lost here. I mean, everything's showing consistent on my part, but every time I try and go to YouTube, it keeps locking back up. Anyway, I was starting to answer, would another technical difficulties episode be possible? If the footage exists. But, yeah, I haven't really thought about that one. Let's see. I think I found it via Rhett and Link because they used a part of my Max Headroom video. Yeah, I remember that. It gave me like a bump for like 3 hours one day. It didn't mean much, but yeah. What will I replace the box with when it falls apart? Well, another box. I guess I'll have to pop down to Office Depot. This is an Office Depot box, and buy another, stash of paper, I guess. I mean, I do have another one of these, so if this did collapse on me, I would be able to just swap it out. But it wouldn't have that wonderfully decrepit look that this has developed over the last 12, 13 years now. Let's see. I've already kind of answered that one about getting recognized. I'd imagine there's a ton of duct tape inside that box. No, actually there's not. H6DL works. Do I ever miss the Arc on Parker? Parker Road in, well, I guess it's kind of borderline Aurora, Denver. I found the first R in Aurora again after a while. I've been gone long enough that I finally pronounce it normally again. That's what happens when you live there. You just say it so often, you just drop part of the word. I find myself missing ARC just in general. I miss the thrift stores in the Denver area. The fan that I used to have in the background of older videos is another unsung hero. Yeah, Fanny is actually still here, just a bit out of the shot, but Fanny is still around. Let's see here. Analog archaeologist. Any chance for a part 2 of either infomercials or home shopping? Possibly infomercials. Home shopping, probably not. I just haven't found much of anything. My TV has a thick coating of dust. My TV right here is kind of doesn't get the use that it used to. Super chat from Rick K. Ben, I've been following you since the Blip TV days. Oh boy, way back. Thanks for the years and years of entertainment. Thank you. Ben, do you watch Severance? I don't even know what that is. I want to know if Ben will do an Easter special. I've never found any stuff appropriate for it. It would be like, I don't know, like a mini archive riffs of the old Cadbury's commercials with the Easter Bunny. I don't know what I would do for an Easter episode. Let's see here. Any chance for a video on the 2000s anime bubble? I know nothing about anime. I have no interest in anime. There are whole channels on anime. That is so not my department. Here's a bit of dark humor when I was talking about gallows humor dealing with dementia. It's speaking of gallows humor, at my dad's visitation, my aunt and I were looking at Dad down in the casket, and I said, Dad would never wear his mascara like that. Yeah, a little after the fact, but yeah, you do kind of have to learn to look at things kind of in an upside down way just to survive. I am so hoping this isn't falling apart on me. Because everything is showing consistently running on my side, but when I check in on the stream, it keeps going berserk on me. Let's see here. Have I ever considered making a video on song poems, song sharking? Yeah, that was one from very, very early on. And it would be one that would be a very difficult one to make. But yeah, I'd kind of like to. And I have a few song poems that I've just found over the years thrifting. So I do have a few that aren't in circulation. But yeah, it's one of those things that I'd kind of like to do. And I worried way back when I was kicking around the idea in the early days of Archive that nobody would care. But I think I've gotten to a point where I just have enough regular viewers that it would probably get enough to get by. But yeah, that's one of those things that is on the back burner until the inevitable. Let's see here. Let's see, back on the dark humor thing. My mom had cancer and a classmate of hers had a funeral parlor and said he had to deal with Delta and he'd ship her up to New Jersey from Georgia. I quipped she'd be in the stowage. We laughed. Yeah, seeing... It makes sense. Okay, Gino is here. Good evening, Ben and all. I concur with some of the mood of the room. I have a TV show and have been in a depressive funk and I haven't been able to create that in my ADHD. Getting my goat. Yeah, we've discussed this before. You just gotta just have at it, you know. That's kind of all you can do. I wish it were deeper than that. Let's see here. Bill McMinn, speaking of New Mexico, Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell would be a rabbit hole worth diving down. Boy, I worry about the kind of viewership that would get. I used to listen to Art Bell occasionally when I used to do stage stuff, local crew stuff. Depending on how tired I was when I would get off work. If I was really tired, it would be me like finding some hard rock heavy metal or something and cranking the crap out of it so I wouldn't fall asleep at the wheel heading home. But if I was still a little more alert, I would turn it on to, it was on KOA in Denver, 8:50 a.m. and I would listen to Art Bell driving home. But yeah, depending on what kind of night I was having. Speaking of, I mentioned, you know, crazy commenters. There's been this constant recurring thing with a short video I made really more as a thing to try and get archive onto other websites, but like that guy with the glasses, I know that's kind of a verboten thing to say now, but 10 years ago, not so much. And it just, like the Alex Jones crowd just latches onto that thing over and over and over again. And I'm just at a point where it's like, don't even watch the video, just read the comments. It's way more interesting. Brian Hebert, have I ever considered doing an episode on border blasters? I haven't, no, but yeah, that exists. I'm always reluctant to do radio stuff. I never feel like I'm quite qualified for that sort of thing. And once again, the chat's jumping around on me. I got a super chat here from Chris Timmons. Thank you, $20. Really generous tonight. Hi Ben, I want to say I love your channel. I found you completely by accident while looking at Max Headroom about 8 years ago. Thanks for the great videos. Thank you. And yeah, it seems like the Max Headroom thing was it really was what got the ball rolling way back when. Part of me kind of wishes I had waited longer to make that one, because I hit every first episode pothole that a person can. Thoughts on Fleetwood Mac? I like Fleetwood Mac. I've been hearing them since I was a real little kid. These days when I listen to Fleetwood Mac, it's usually more the pre-Stevie Nicks stuff, though. I've kind of settled into my own groove with, well, of course, there's a tribute to Danny Kirwan on the archive soundtrack album called Kirwan. But I've kind of settled into that Peter Green, Danny Kirwan, Bob Welch, Fleetwood Mac over the years. The webpage YouTube has crashed 3 times so far. I've moved to an iPad. That does not surprise me. Now I'm starting to see things about how well this is playing here. So now I gotta wait for the damn chat to catch up again. Every time, I don't know, is Oddity Archive able to crash the chat? Is that possible on 160? I have 160 people watching. That's way more than I expected. Jen Gibbons, another archive greatest earworms. Eventually, but when was the first one? Like episode 180, something like that. It's a miracle I remember any of this. So that would put me on track for what, 360, something like that. Got another super chat here. Jonathan Mitchell, $20. Thank you. Congratulations on 50K, Ben. Are your senses working overtime? Mine sure are. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Is Andy Partridge too busy these days? Maybe I could get him to do a little senses working overtime here. And then he'd go off on some rant for 20 minutes about something. Let's see here. Richard the Fox. Do I ever watch Brandon's Cult Movies reviews, i.e. Brendan Tenoid? I have once or twice way back in the That Guy with the Glasses era. Let's see here. Just stomp on a new box. It'll give it that used box look. I kind of feel like they need to earn their stripes. That would be too easy. Let's see here. Got another comment about Soviet TV. Let's see here. Jen Gibbons. I love the fact that Ben named his fan. It was just a little joke initially, but everybody, this was years ago. I started calling it Fanny on on Facebook and stuff, and it just seemed to stick. Granted, I have not done a Fanny anything in years, but yeah, I just, it's my fan. It's my biggest fan. Let's see here. If the box eventually collapses, you should auction off pieces of it to fans to drum up more funds for the archive. I was going to see if the Smithsonian wanted it. What was going on that made me disable the comments on infomercials? They shouldn't be. There was I'll have to check this after the stream if I remember to. I should have brought some paper and a pen with me. There was a thing a while ago, like a year or two ago, where YouTube just went and disabled the comments on a bunch of my videos. I didn't know about it. It was only after hearing, hey Ben, why are the comments off on such and such a video on Facebook, that I went through the whole list and turned all of them back on. I don't know what happened. There doesn't seem to be any common thread to it, but I guess I'll have to check the infomercial one to see if that one didn't get shut off by YouTube. Where did I learn comedy? I'm not sure I've ever learned comedy. I've been known to say that my comedy school was in middle school. I would tape, getting back to Comedy Central again, I would tape Kids in the Hall when I was at school. And ultimately also the original British Whose Line Is It Anyway, which came on right after. I would always add a few minutes on each end of the recording so nothing was lost. And then I started to watch the first couple of minutes of Whose Line and found I really liked it. And yeah, so I guess that was kind of it. Otherwise, I don't know, Tex Avery cartoons, you can't do that on television. I shouldn't have said those 3 magic words. Now there's going to be slime just magically appearing. Anyway, here at Nancy Hale, $1.99 super chat. Congrats, Ben. Take care and persevere. Thank you. Let's see here. Wait, your dad passed away. No, he hasn't. He has not passed away. Let's see here. Getting some just kind of general comments. Gino, oddest silent film score I've encountered. Well, Jelly Roll Morton on the Charlie Chaplin set, if you go back and watch that particular Silent Movie Day episode, that was kind of a weird one, or kind of cute, almost something you'd hear in a Laurel and Hardy short getting used on Metropolis, which is also in one of those episodes. But that's the best I can think of. Intentionally weird ones, maybe like stuff from the Clubfoot Orchestra or something, if you've ever heard of them. Let's see here. Max Muir, Peter Green Fleetwood Mac is akin to Peter Gabriel Genesis versus Phil Collins Genesis. Yeah, kind of, sort of, in a way. Speaking of Genesis, I like both eras. I like my Peter Gabriel and my Phil Collins. I got no problem with either of them. I just realized Ben looks a farmer. Must be the flannel. It's just what I happened to grab today. Another comment on Fanny. Fanny is also a great rock band. Yeah, one of the first all-female rock group to have a hit, I believe. Ford, do I think I'll ever do an episode about Good Times Home Video? If I do, it'd probably be like a partial episode, if I ever do another public domain VHS episode. But yeah, it's not something I've really been thinking about lately. So, and of course the damn chat is spazzing on me again. So, as always, I need to get the damn thing to catch up. It's like I need a more powerful laptop. Okay, well, it's just kind of frozen. Everybody is saying that I look like a farmer at this point. Some of this stuff, it just seems kind of random, so obviously I've missed a few things. Okay, now it's kind of working again. Kind of half working. That's annoying. Okay, so apparently my chat has crashed. That's wonderful. According to my end of things, things are not working quite right. That's just what I need right now. And I should, if I'm still being heard, I do have the internet running direct to the computer. I'm not just, you know, goofing around on Wi-Fi or anything. But I think things went spazzy on me. I noticed my... oh, this is brilliant. Never even... my pre-show stuff never went out. Everything just kind of froze on me. Okay, now my screen is flashing. That's wonderful. That's just great. Give myself a little refresh here if it'll let me, if it doesn't kick me out. This might be the end of it and might have to restart or just kind of call it good. That is really annoying. Okay, I am going to take a quick break here. I'm going to just run some more commercials here and I'll see if I can get things working again.
Happy she be when she's with me. Happy I be when she's with me. Because I love her and I treat her like a lady. Happy she be when she's with me. Tell me you love me now, I'll tell you why. You want each other, but you're both so shy, shy, shy. Well, it won't happen if you just let time go by. Too many loves been sacrificed, waiting for someone else to break the ice. And if you go for it, you'd be surprised. Oh, happy she be when she's with me. Happy I be when she's with me. Because I love her and I treat her like a lady. And happy she be when she's with me. All those intentions that you keep inside might come to nothing much worse if it's untried. Sometimes you have to give a big piece of your pride. But now you know, with a girl and me, we won't go through life separately. You take the chance, someday you'll see. Oh, happy she be when she's with me. Happy I be when she's with me. Because I love her and I treat her like a lady. And happy she be when she's with me.
Okay, we should be back. Everything seems to be working again. Got a little song in there instead. I do have some commercials. At least I had something on standby after boring the crap out of everybody for Lord knows how long. Anyway, let's pick back up here. Have I ever considered making a video on the BBC, ITV, Southern TV gag reels? Not really. I've done an episode on gag reels. But, yeah, I think I know what you mean, like the Christmas ones, the kind of internal ones, yeah. Yeah, I haven't felt a need to. Let's see here. Any plans for the Silent Movie Day video this year? Not yet. I'm hoping I can even do one. I may have to settle just for doing a live stream of Silent. We'll just have to see where we're at come the end of September. Let's see here. General comment here. I liked the British version of Whose Line better than the American version. Yeah, I'm very partial to the British Whose Line. I much prefer Clive Anderson, and I like a lot of the British Brigade, Tony Slattery and Josie Lawrence and all them. They're great. Let's see here. Am I a fan of old-time radio shows? James Farley. To a point. I used to listen to him more when I was a kid, strangely enough. There used to be this syndicated show that Stan Freberg hosted that they used to run on 14:30 a.m. in beautiful downtown Aurora. And I forget the name of it, but I used to listen to that almost every night when I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade. And yeah, that was kind of where I heard most of it. And these days I have XM radio in my car now. I will occasionally plop it onto the Radio Classics channel, which I think is one of the ones you can listen to even if you don't subscribe, because it's all public domain stuff. But yeah, if they happen to be playing Jack Benny or something at the moment, I might listen. Assuming I'm in the car by myself. Let's see here. Des Courtney in the tip jar for a new laptop. Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping this laptop lasts a while. I've only had this particular laptop for 2 years, maybe. I mean, this was a used one, but yeah, this is still within the period of life, as it were, for being updatable and stuff within the realm of Apple. I know that's kind of a dirty word among some of you, but that's my comfort zone for the most part. I do Windows for some stuff, and I do have a Windows 11 laptop kicking around too if I need it. Let's see. I donate if I wasn't broke autofocus right now. I totally get it. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. ESCEC. It's best to put up a please stand by slide. Okay. Well, you asked. There you go. There's the please stand by slide. I had it all ready. Looks like Benny Boy is creating his own TD episode. Hey. Don't give away the ending. And sure enough, the instant I make a joke about it, it seizes on me again. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you get the joke. Let's see here. Am I using the latest version of Google Chrome? I'm not using Google Chrome. YouTube really doesn't like anything else. Why does that not surprise me? Two for one pizza and hot dogs for the next 5 minutes at the OA food court. I wish I knew where that was. Probably next to the feedlot. Yeah, I've been in South Dakota too long. I'm throwing in those country jokes now. Let's see here. Happy hamster on a bun. That would be truly on brand for me. That'd be a good commercial parody for like a Halloween episode or something. I'd have to figure out like find some sort of toy hamster, I guess at like PetSmart or something, and put it in a bun or something. That's actually pretty good. I might steal that one. Let's see. Aurora should have a road called Archive Road. That would be cool. Nobody would get it. Okie dokie, Ben. It has been fun, but I've been up since 2 a.m. Yeah, I totally get it. If you got to check out, that's fine. We're just kind of chatting here. I'm just glad that I'm getting questions here. This could have been a very, very awkward live stream. Not that the last 10 minutes or so weren't awkward as all get out. Let's see here. Old Wave Media. Speaking of radio, am I familiar with Phil Hendry, aka the talk show host who talks to himself? I can't say I am. That does not ring any bells. Printo316, if I do a stream of a science, I'd like to see A Fool There Was, the Theta Barra movie. Okay, yeah, it is on the list. I suppose if I wanted to be true to form for the public domain live streams, I'd have to find a tape copy of it, because I've only got that one on DVD. But yeah, and I've only got the Paul Killiam one, but we'll see what I can find. Sometimes I get in more trouble running the true public domain copies because people are just using needle drops of various major label classical records and stuff. Let's see here. Another super chat there from Russ Sternglass. Thank you, by the way. Hey Ben, recently found a copy of Song Remains the Same on Betamax. Any suggestions for a good Betamax VCR? Yeah, like one of the later Sony Super Beta Hi-Fi, like from 650 up, like 650 up through 900. I need to replace my, well, not replace, but I should upgrade my my regular everyday Beta deck. I did not know that Tony Slattery passed away. I didn't know that. I really liked him. The American Who's line was too on the nose and borderline annoying, at least after the first season. Yeah, well, and part of the problem with the U.S. Who's line, you could tell they were doing take after take after take, and you know they're still improvising to various degrees, but yeah, you could tell that there was it's not as real as the British one, because you would have, you know, bomb jokes and just things would go wrong on the British Who's line. You knew that they really were just kind of trying to get their way through it. And sure enough, the chat's jumping around on me. Let's see here. One of my machines is a Hackintosh. I started to make a Hackintosh once years ago. This was 2010 or so, and I couldn't pull it off. Of course, it didn't help that I didn't know a damn thing about graphics cards. I may have screwed it up. Let's see here. I really like the band Hydride as well. Where did I find it? Were you able to ever find anything out about them? So that song that I played just a bit ago, that was a tape I had found at a thrift store in Colorado, and it was from the final archive episode before I left, the final real full proper one. But no, I've never found anything on it. There's nothing in the Copyright Office. There's nothing on like ASCAP or BMI if you try and search it. Yeah, I never had any luck with that. Looks like Retro Circ is hanging out here tonight. Hey. Let's see here. Let's see here. Happy Snout Hour. Speaking of SD, I love that Bunk VHS tape. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I did finally post that at one point to Archive Annex. It's weird. I got all these requests for it, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be one of those weird kind of inverse hits. But then it just kind of got like 80 views or something, and that was it. Let's see here. Tyler Gobble, I believe that is. Just dropping in to say that I hope you and yours are well and that you are taking very good care of yourself. Glad to have you on with us tonight. Hey, thanks. I'm doing what I can. Yeah, if you see me less and less, you know exactly why. If you've been following me, if you watch the State of the Archive videos that I'm trying to get out every few months, just so you kind of know where everything's at. Yeah. Let's see here. Speaking of Stan Freberg, did I ever listen to Dr. Demento? I don't think I've ever lived anywhere that carried Dr. Demento. Not that I know of. I don't remember him getting played in Denver at all, or if it was at a really, really off time, and I have no idea what station it was on. But I don't remember that. Something about radio in Denver. What was that? Do I remember the old Y108 in Denver alongside Q103 and KPKE in the 80s? That was a little before my time. My family only landed in Denver in 91, so I missed that. Let's see here. Max Mirror, Sirius XM 148 plays too much of those modern recreation shows. They just don't work. Huh. When I have it on, it's always actual 30s, 40s stuff. None of your business. Benny took an insurance policy out. He'll get $1 million if he accidentally knocks over the cardboard box on a live stream. I wish that were really a thing. All right, well, it looks like I've pretty well caught up here. Either that or my stream has totally crashed. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just shut it down for that. I'm really shocked at the turnout for this. So thanks, everybody, for turning up. And yeah, next week, barring anything catastrophic, it's going to be prehistoric Comedy Central. So not Comedy Central proper, but everything that led up to Comedy Central. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night here. I'll talk to you again soon. And I guess, even though this isn't one of my movie live streams, why don't we do the sign-off, shall we? This is station KLAK, Channel 31, Archive Land, concluding another day of broadcasting. This station is owned and operated by Minadian Media Mutual of Midwestern Middle Management. Our station is located in a rundown, flood-prone split level somewhere in South Dakota, with our transmitter located out the back of a JVC HR S7600U SVHS deck at an effective radiated power of 3/20ths of a watt. KLAK is also a member in good standing of the television code and displays this seal of out of practice. We now invite you to join us on KLAK Radio 640 and sometimes 1240 on your AM dial for music all night. On behalf of the staff of KLAK TV, a staff of one, I, now bid you good night. And now, our national anthem.